When the grid fails, money stops mattering. What people crave then is survival: water, food, power, warmth, and hope. Those who can make those things happen aren't just survivors, they're the new wealthy. Today we're talking about 10 rare life skills that will make you rich after SHTF. These are the trades that keep the lights flickering, the pumps running, and the settlements growing. Learn them now, and when everything breaks, you won't just be another mouth to feed. You'll be the one everyone looks for. Because in a broken world, skills are the new currency. Plumbing, repairs, and water systems. You don't realize how dependent you are on plumbing until you hear that first gurgle of an empty pipe. Water lines crack, septic tanks overflow, pumps fail, and chaos follows. If you're the one who can fix it, suddenly everyone knows your name. Knowing how to repair leaks, install rain catchment, or build gravity-fed systems means you control the one thing nobody can live without. When the taps go dry, clean water becomes wealth, and you can trade that skill for anything you need. Because without it, no one lasts long. Learn the basics: PVC, copper, and PEX. Understand pressure, flow, and filtration. A single plumber with a wrench and know-how can rebuild an entire community's lifeline. And don't stop there. Learn how to repurpose gray water, set up basic composting toilets, or build a simple biosand filter. After SHTF, that knowledge keeps disease away, and that alone is worth its weight in gold. Electrical repairs. Electricity might vanish for most, but those who can bring even a flicker of light back into the dark become legends. Imagine being the one who rewires a radio or jump-starts a community's generator. You're instantly valuable. If you can diagnose wiring faults, set up 12-volt systems, or scavenge parts from dead tech, you'll have people lining up for your help. A working fan in a summer heat wave, or a radio that still picks up distant voices? That's hope in wire form. Start small. Rewire a lamp, fix a flashlight, learn the language of current and voltage. Once you can safely handle low-voltage circuits, move to battery banks and charge controllers. And remember, your knowledge becomes tradable. You don't just fix things for barter, you can teach others. A few hours spent teaching neighbors how to wire safely could earn you loyalty that outlasts any battery. Assembling off-grid power systems. Knowing how to build a solar setup from scratch is like having the keys to modern civilization. It's the difference between "we're barely surviving" and "we have refrigeration and lights." If you can wire panels, balance loads, and size an inverter correctly, you become infrastructure. You don't just keep things running, you bring stability to chaos. In every community, there will be one person who can build a working power system from scrap. Be that person. Learn to connect solar, wind, or micro-hydro to practical tools: pumps, lights, fans, radios. The ability to charge batteries or run a small fridge will feed you and everyone around you. And if you can maintain what you build, you'll never be without trade. Batteries die, inverters fail, cables corrode. Someone always needs an off-grid electrician. That someone can be you. Maintaining and cleaning solar panels. Solar panels are tough but not eternal. Dust, debris, and bad wiring can drop performance fast. A person who can diagnose and fix those issues is worth their weight in fuel. Learning how to clean, align, and test panels properly extends their life. And that means steady work. In a barter world, a few hours of your time could mean months of extra power for a family. You don't need fancy tools. A multimeter, soft brushes, and a good understanding of angles can keep panels at peak output. Combine that with simple safety habits and you'll outlast most amateur tinkerers. Think bigger. Learn to salvage dead panels, rewire cracked cells, and chain smaller arrays together. As the world rebuilds, solar tech will be everywhere, and you'll be the one who knows how to keep it alive. Welding and metalwork. When there's no hardware store, there's the welder. The person who can fuse metal doesn't just fix things, they create solutions from scraps. You can turn barrels into stoves, sheet metal into armor, and junk frames into carts. Every small community will need fences, hinges, tools, and reinforcements, and you can supply them all. Start learning stick or MIG welding now. Once you understand how to handle steel safely, expand to brazing, cutting, and even simple forging. Metalworking isn't about brute force, it's about precision. And don't overlook the creative side. You can craft stovepipes, repair bikes, or even make traps and cooking tools. When everything collapses, the sparks from your torch will be the brightest light for miles. Butchering and meat preservation. When refrigeration stops, every meal becomes a race against rot. The butcher's knife becomes one of the most valuable tools in any settlement. If you can humanely process an animal, dress it cleanly, and preserve the meat without spoilage, you'll never go hungry. Your skill converts livestock into long-lasting food and valuable trade goods. Learn to salt, smoke, and cure. A few hours of work can turn perishable meat into months of food security. Add canning, jerky making, and lard rendering, and you'll feed families through the hardest winters. Butchering also means no waste. Bones become tools, hides become clothing, and fat becomes candles. Every part matters, and that's what makes this skill so powerful. Herbal medicine and natural remedies. When the pharmacy's empty and the last pill is gone, those who know nature become the new doctors. Herbal medicine isn't folklore, it's renewable healing. Learn to identify what grows in your region. Antiseptics like yarrow, immune boosters like echinacea, and anti-inflammatories like turmeric or willow bark. A few leaves can replace a dozen pills when you know what to do. Drying, tincturing, and preserving herbs will give you a medicine cabinet that lasts through the seasons. And when others panic over illness, you'll have calm, knowledge, and cures. The best part? Herbs regrow, they multiply. Once you know how to cultivate them, you're growing wealth. Healing that renews itself year after year. Negotiation and bartering expertise. After SHTF, money dies, but trade doesn't. Bartering becomes the heartbeat of survival, and the best traders become the new power brokers. If you can value goods fairly, spot desperation without exploiting it, and close deals that help both sides, you'll never lack for allies. You'll be the one who keeps tempers cool and markets running. Learn human psychology. Watch for tone, posture, and motive. Bartering isn't just about stuff. It's about trust and influence. A good negotiator builds peace. When others fight, you'll be the one turning conflict into cooperation. And in the long run, that's what builds the kind of world worth living in again. Sewing and clothing repair. Clothes tear faster when life gets hard. In the old world, you'd buy new ones. In the new one, you'll pray someone can sew. A sturdy hand with a needle can extend the life of boots, gloves, packs, and coats. That keeps people warm and working, which means your skills feed the entire economy. Learn basic stitching, darning, and patching. Then move into heavier materials like canvas and leather. Once you can work both, you'll never be without customers. And remember, it's not just function, it's morale. A well-mended coat in a world of rags makes people feel human again. That's real wealth. Homestead systems and permaculture design. When the dust settles, survival alone won't be enough. You'll need to rebuild, and the homesteader becomes the architect of the new world. If you can design a self-sustaining property, gardens, water catchment, compost, livestock rotation, you'll build independence from collapse itself. Permaculture isn't just gardening. It's about closing loops. Waste feeds soil, soil feeds crops feed people, and people feed purpose. A well-designed system turns survival into stability. In time, those who can teach these systems become community builders. You're not just growing food, you're growing resilience. And that's the foundation of every reborn civilization. These 10 skills aren't fancy. They're not flashy, but they're the ones that'll feed you, power your tools, heal your people, and earn you respect when paper money is just kindling. Start learning now while parts are cheap and YouTube still works. Because when the grid goes silent, knowledge will be the loudest thing left. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe to Ask a Prepper, and turn on notifications. We've got plenty more ways to make sure when the lights go out, yours stay on.